The Gophers have hit the ice, and we're talking about both men's and women's hockey teams as they get kicked off for the 2022 season. That and more here on Locked On Golden Gophers.
Hey,
you are Locked On Golden Gophers.
No matter what we're going to do here, we're just going to keep rowing.
Your daily podcast on the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
However it turns out, we're just going to keep rowing.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
We're just going to keep rowing, and keep rowing.
You're listening to Locked On Golden Gophers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Kane Rob, host of the podcast, former collegiate football video coordinator and recruiting assistant, here to talk Golden Gophers with you each and every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Now, it is a bye week for the Gophers football team. We will still talk about the football team, but let's get some of these other sports in there as well as they are kicking off. Today, we will be talking about hockey. Later this week, we'll have a basketball conversation as well, and then we'll hit it up with some football. So be sure to be tuned in. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube, where we're building the community, and follow us wherever you find your podcast at Locked On Golden Gophers. Now, today's episode is brought to you by SimpliSafe. With the fast product technology exclusively from SimpliSafe, 24/7 monitoring agents capture evidence to accurately verify a threat for faster response from the police. There's no safe like SimpliSafe. Visit simplisafe.com/lockedoncollege to learn more. Now today, like I said, we are going to be jumping into hockey because hockey has officially started this past weekend, and both Gophers programs are thriving from the jump right away. They're showing out, and they should, because they're both ranked number 2 in the nation when it comes to the hockey rankings. The men's team played Lindenwood this past Saturday and Sunday, sweeping the Lions 4-0 in Game 1 and 6-4 in Game 2. Now, the Gophers women kicked off with 2 exhibition games. They haven't played their official game on the record books quite yet, but those exhibition games were versus Manitoba, where they absolutely annihilated the Manitoba team 13-0. It was led by fifth-year forward Grace Zumwinkle, who had a hat trick. There were 9 Gophers who had multi-point games. They just absolutely laid it to them, beat them down. But the girls' hockey team was not done there, because they played an exhibition against the professional women's hockey team of Minnesota, the Minnesota Whitecaps, who are the team from the Twin Cities for the Premier Hockey Federation, which was formerly known as the National Women's Hockey League prior to this upcoming season. The Gophers won this game 4-2, with Taylor Heisey opening up the scoring with 10 minutes. After a back and forth of 10 minutes in that first period, Taylor Heisey puts in the goal, and we're used to that, right? I mean, she was the MVP of all women's hockey last year. The Heisman of girls hockey, that's what she was, and hopefully she can go back to back. That would be epic, legendary, and really set the tone for the Gophers program in general. So the Whitecaps scored 2 after she had that opening goal, and then after that it was all Gophers rallying back to win 4-2. Now the Gophers women kick off their official match that will be on the record books starting this Friday, the 7th, at Ritter Arena. So it is a home game versus the Bemidji State Beavers. Like I said, both programs are currently ranked. They're second in the nation, and this is the state of hockey. So I will do all that I can to give some consistent coverage in the Department of Hockey and Gophers programs. I also, because, my knowledge with hockey is not up to par as it is with football and basketball. If I'm going to be straight up with you, I'm going to be honest. This is how we establish a connection, right? Because I let you know the truth even when it's hard to hear. Well, I'm not the most amazing hockey analyst, so I want to make sure to have some on here every once in a while to be sure you're getting the best of the best. So we do have and are in the works of lining up some top-notch Gophers hockey analysts to join us on the podcast as we get deeper into the season, as football starts to slow down, to make sure you're getting the best when it comes to Gophers hockey. Now, next, we're going to talk about what we saw from the men's program in their matches this past weekend. And then we're going to close with some insights on the Gophers' upcoming opponents for this weekend. But first, we got to do it. We got to talk about our friends at SimpliSafe. Now, SimpliSafe, the numbers don't lie. In the past decade, over 4 million people have chosen SimpliSafe home security to protect their homes. You don't earn the trust of that many people without doing something right. At SimpliSafe, your safety is the only thing that matters. I know it should be, right? That's all that should matter. They protect you with cutting-edge security and technology powered by 24/7 professional monitoring agents who always have your back. Now, with their 24/7 professional monitoring, SimpliSafe agents call you the moment a threat is detected and dispatch police or first responders in an emergency, even if you're not home or can't be reached. They're covering you, they're keeping you safe, they're making sure that you are protected from all angles. SimpliSafe blankets your home in protection with advanced sensors for every room, window, and door. HD security cameras for inside and outside your home, smarter ways to detect motion that only alert you when the threat is real, and even hazard sensors that instantly detect fires, floods, or threats to your home. They got you hooked up, they got you covered from all angles and ready to protect. Their monitoring experts use proprietary advanced response technology to visually confirm when a break-in is real so you can get the highest priority police dispatch. So, they're able to use their best judgment as well and make sure that it's not just a neighbor stopping by. They've got you covered. Customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplisafe.com/lockedoncollege. If you do that, you'll save 20% on your SimpliSafe security system when you sign up for an interactive monitoring plan and you get your first month free. That's right. So you get 20% off of your SimpliSafe security system and you get your first month free. All you got to do is go to simplisafe.com/lockedoncollege to learn more. There's no safe like SimpliSafe. All right, thank you for making Locked On Golden Gophers your first listen when it comes to Gophers Daily Sports. Today we're talking hockey, and we're talking Gophers hockey for the men's side right now because they officially kicked off some games that were on the record books, and they came out 2-0. You love to see that. They swept the Lindenwood Lions, and things that were of note to take notice of. The first is Logan Cooley, true freshman for the Golden Gophers, who went number 3 overall in this past NHL draft to the Phoenix Coyotes. Logan Cooley, kid's a stud. Kid is the real deal. He is as advertised. Through 2 games, he has 4 points with 2 goals and 2 assists, and he's leading the team thus far in points. Now, Matthew Nyes, Brock Faber, and Ryan Pitlick are all right behind him with 3 points. Nyes has 2 goals and 1 assist. Faber has 1 goal and 2 assists. And Rhett Pitlick has 3 assists. So overall, those guys are showing out. And these 4 will be the keys. They will be the centerpieces to this Gophers team early and often. You can mark that down. These guys are the real deal. Logan Cooley, Brock Faber, Matthew Nyes, and Rhett Pitlick. So outside of them, Justin Close served as our goalie for the first game. He held them to a shutout, clean, 100% save rate. You love to see that. And it was a 4-0 game. He had 16 total saves. Now, he was our guy. He was our stud. He was our main goaltender last season, and you love to see him off to a hot start. Now, we have a new goaltender, a fresh goaltender who came in for the second game. I can't say his last name because I know I'm absolutely going to just butcher it. But we're calling him Bardo over here. Bardo was in the goal for game 2, and although he let in 4 goals, he did. It was a 6-4 game, but it was his first collegiate hockey game. And even though he let in 4 goals, he saved 27 of them. He had 27 saves, nearly approaching a double on the saves of what Close had the night before. So the Lions came out hot in that second game, firing on all cylinders, firing from all over the ice, and he had a solid debut. Now, other players that were impressive in my eyes were Ryan Chesley. He's been fairly impressive, especially on the defensive side, especially with how physical he is on the ice, and he really sets the tone for the defense. And then you had Connor Kurth, Brody Lamb, and Logan Cooley, who all scored their first collegiate goal in this weekend's series. So we swept, we got a lot of experience for the young guys, and it was a great time. It set the tone. It helped erase the idea of, or the thought of, the loss that the football team had. The Gophers hockey team is going to be special. They're looking to get back to the Frozen Four and officially get another championship. Now let's talk about the lines. Now overall, the first line stayed the same through both games. You had Matthew Nyes, Aaron Huglin, and Bradzi on your first line for the forwards. Now the first line for the defenders changed a little bit. In game 1, they had Ryan Johnson and Ryan Chesley, the Ryans, over on the defensive side. And then on game 2, they had Thomas and Faber in there as the starting defensemen. Now, overall, I think that there are going to be adjustments, changes to figure out what these best lines are going to be as we move forward. But one line that stayed consistent as well throughout this game for the forward side was having Rhett Pitlick, Logan Cooley, and Jimmy Snuggerud. Now, they started out as the 4th line in game 1, and then they were the 2nd line in game 2, but it was nice to see that trio sticking together. Connor Kurth got some good time out there. He was in the 3rd line on the second night, and he was in the 2nd line on the first night, so he's getting some opportunities. We've kept the pairing of Mason Nevers and Nelson together. First night they played on the 2nd line, the second night they played on the 4th line. So like I said, there's lots of different combinations, different workings that we're really still making progress on. We're still getting the right combinations. We're still developing the chemistry and seeing who works best together as we move forward. But this weekend is going to be a big one, and this weekend will help establish what is working and what isn't right away from the jump. I mean, it's gonna be fun to see what these lines and adjustments will be made, especially with the upcoming series, which is against the Mankato State Mavericks, the team that knocked us out of the tournament last year in the semifinals before the championship game. We've got them early, and we've got them this upcoming weekend in a home-and-home series. And then the Gophers men's program will take on UND after that. So big opponents on the way that will want to get it figured out real quick. Now, we're going to talk about those upcoming opponents for both the men's and women's programs coming up next. But first, we talk about our friends over at Built Bar, because Built Bar, man, they're just so good, folks. They're good. They're power packed with protein. It's all the joys of eating some of your favorite foods, favorite candy bars maybe. Their newest puffs is the chocolate cookie dough chunk puffs, which you get the joys of eating cookie dough and not the hassles of making it. Plus, it's good for you. Now, remember, you got to go to Built.com and you can snag a box for yourself and your family, and it will be the perfect treat, or you can find a really good hiding place for it, stored away for just you. Now, all Built Bars are covered in 100% real chocolate, and it's about what they're made of. Built Bar is made with collagen protein, which your body absorbs more efficiently and provides tons of health benefits, and it tastes good. The people over at Built Bar make sure it tastes great. It's better for you, less calories, less sugars, more protein. It's right there. I don't know why you haven't tried it yet. I've been talking to you about it all off season. Gave you a little break, and now I'm here to tell you it's time to get back over there. It's time to get your discount. It's time to get Built Bars. So go to built.com, use promo code LOCKEDON15 to get 15% off your order. Again, use promo code LOCKEDON15. All right, we're wrapping today's show up with the opponents that are upcoming for the Gophers programs. Going to keep it brief, going to keep it quick, and keep this podcast a little bit shorter for you. The women are taking on Bemidji State, a squad that has started 2-1-1 so far this year. Last season, the Bemidji State Beavers were 11-20-3, so not a very successful season overall. It should be a great warm-up match for the Golden Gophers as they get ready to kick off their official games that will go in the records. Now, the Minnesota Whitecaps that they played in the exhibition, that was a real test. That was a professional hockey team, and they were able to come out with a dub, and it was a scrap in certain parts of the game. So this should be a more favorable outcome, a more favorable matchup for the women's hockey program. The all-time record of the Gophers women versus the Bemidji State Beavers is 83-8-7. 83-8-7. So yes, I think Minnesota should be all right in this department, especially with many returners coming back to the women's program, including Taylor Heisey. Now, overall, their last game that Bemidji State and the Minnesota Golden Gophers women's team played was in February of 2022, and the Minnesota won 5-2. So history's on our side. The matchups have been favorable, and the women will look to continue that streak moving forward this weekend. The men's team on the opposite side, they will be taking on their fellow Frozen Four finalist in 2021, the Mankato State Mavericks, who not only knocked out the Gophers in the semis last season, I'm pretty sure they knocked out the Gophers the year before as well, and they finished second last year in the tournament, losing in the championship to Denver. Now, Mankato has played one exhibition game so far this season, and they lost 2-7 to Omaha, Nebraska. The men's team, I think this is going to be a real challenge, but we've brought in a ton of young talent. We have some very key starters coming back with Lacombe, with Rijo, with Faber, with Nyes. A lot of guys that can help us get it done and really give some work to these Mavericks. Now, the Mavericks are on a 4-game winning streak against the Gophers hockey team when it comes to the men's side of things, but the Gophers lead the all-time series, 37-18-6. That is the all-time series. But again, the Mavericks are on a 4-game win streak, and we have to end that, and we have to end it here and now. It will be a major test for the Gophers coming up, but you know what? We brought in a much better class. Like I said, Logan Cooley's the real deal. Jimmy Snuggerud's the real deal. Connor Kurth shows potential. Ryan Chesley looks really good. Ryan Chesley, those 4 guys I just named right there were all NHL draft picks. 3 of them going in the first round, and Connor Kurth going, I want to say in the 4th or 5th. Ryan Chesley might have been the 2nd. I don't want to get that wrong, but just know those guys are NHL capable players that are all on the radar and now officially on the development teams for those NHL programs and working with them in the off seasons. So we have some good talent there. Plus you got those returners coming back, like I said. This is going to be a major test. I think our major returners paired with that top-ranked class, we should be able to break the streak this weekend and at least come away with 1 victory, but hopefully 2, and keeping that ranking nice and high as we move forward to be one of the best teams in the nation. We'll keep you posted as we learn more. We'll keep you updated. And then as the football season winds down, we will get into a lot more hockey and a lot more basketball. Thank you for listening to Locked On Golden Gophers. That's going to do it for us. My name's Kane Rob, host of the show. Be sure to hit subscribe on YouTube. We've got to catch the other Big Ten channels. They've been around longer, but they have more followers. We're going to catch up. We're going to catch up, and we're going to beat them down when it comes to our engagement competitions that we will start to get into over the years. Now, thank you again for listening to Locked On Golden Gophers. Be sure to hit subscribe on YouTube, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one.